Good morning all. Hope you have seen all the videos of single dimensional array and understood. Now today we will be doing double dimensional arrays. This topic is introduced from year 2020. In single dimensional array we have seen that the array structure is in one row. Suppose M is the array name, then we store the elements in different columns in the single row like this. So this is single dimensional array or single subscripted variable. This is single subscripted variable. But sometimes the case may be where we have to store the data in many rows and columns. For doing that we use double dimensional array like you have done in maths. You store the matrix, then you do the calculation on matrix. Matrix is nothing but a combination collection of rows and columns. So here also, suppose I want to store the information and display the information like this in matrix format, then to do so we use double dimensional array. So double dimensional array is a structure which contains rows and columns. Okay. Now for this double dimensional array we use two subscript. So single dimensional array is used as single subscripted variable, and here we use double subscripted variable because we are using two brackets here to use row and to use column number. So this is known as double subscripted variable. Now depending upon the values which we want to store in double dimensional array, we have to declare the array. Declaration of single dimensional array you have already done. Those who want to revise, you can refer to the previous videos of this series. Now if the array is integer array, the data type of integer is int. The format, suppose here I have given the example of all the arrays of size 3 by 4. That means 3 rows and 4 columns I want to create. So you have to declare the array. For declaration of integer array, the data type is int. We'll write int array variable name double square brackets to indicate that we are declaring double dimensional array equals to new int and the size 3 and 4, which indicates 3 rows and 4 columns can be there in array M. Similarly, if you want to have character array, the data type is char and the declaration format is char c square brackets double square brackets equals to new char and the size of the array. Similarly, for string we have string data type string s double square brackets equals to new string and the size. So for all the data types you can have first declaration and then we can use that particular double dimensional array in the program. In double dimensional array we can give the values either by using assignment or using input method during the execution of the program. For assignment we write the data type, variable name and then twice square brackets. You don't have to give the size here, rows and column value you will not specify here, which indicates you can give unlimited values here, and then row wise values within the curly braces you will give and enclose this in one outer curly braces. First row, second row, third row, say values you want to give 2, 4, 6. Second row you want to give 3, 2 and 5, and say 1, 3 and 7. So array A is having 3 rows and 3 columns. In each row 3 values are there. That indicates the size of the array will be 3 by 3 in this case. Similarly, if you want to store character values, then you will enclose each character, say A, C, this is first row, second row and third row. Like this you can store. Similarly, we can have string array name and the values stored in double quotes, first row. Then similarly you can have second row's values. Like this you will be storing the values using assignment in double dimensional array. The next is using scanner object. I am telling you because this is the method by which mostly we input the values during the execution of the program. For scanner object, first you have to create the object of the scanner class using this statement. This name can be any name, and then first you have to declare the array with its size. Say int array A equals to new int and the size. Suppose the size is 3 by 4, 3 rows and 4 columns. Then we'll write the declaration statement like this: data type space double subscripted variable name equals to new data type and the number of rows and the number of columns. Then in input we will use nested loop here. Outer loop will be for number of rows and inner will be for number of columns. Say if it has 3 rows and 4 columns, that means I want to have 3 rows and 4 columns like this. So first row, second row, third row, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns are there and 3 rows are there. So also we have done that always the outer loop is for number of rows and inner loop is for number of columns. So here the outer loop will go from 0. Yes, we know that the first row is 0th row, first, second, then this is 0 column, first column, second column, third column. So if the size is 3 by 4, the value of or the index number of the last value will be 2 by 3. That means size minus 1 for row and column minus 1 for column. The last address of the double subscripted value will be row minus 1 and column minus 1. If you take this element, its position will be 1, 0. If you take this, it will be 0, 1. This is 0, 3. Like this, the values are stored starting from 0th row and 0th column. So we'll be taking the loop from 0, I equals to 0. It will go till less than row number. That means 0, 1, 2, 3 times the loop will be executed. Then for columns we will have int j equals to 0, j less than 4. That means 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 times the inner loop will be executed, and j plus plus. For entering the elements, you will say aij equals to sc dot next int, because we are taking integer variable. So when I is 0, j will move from 0 to 3. So the value for this will be 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. So first row elements will be entered. After this, when it will come as I equals to 1, j will again begin from 0. So 1 0, 1 1, 1 2, 1 3. The values will be 1 0, 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, and for the last time I will be 2. J will again begin from 0. So it will be 2 0, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, like this. The last row values will be entered. So this is how we enter the elements in double dimensional array. Now I am just reading the council syllabus for double dimensional array. Declaration, initialization, accepting data in double dimensional array, sum of the elements in row, column, diagonal elements left and right, display the elements of double dimensional array in matrix format. So just now we have done declaration part, we have done assignment, we have done, and input method we have seen how to give the values in a double dimensional array. Now we'll be doing accept the values in double dimensional array and printing the sum of all the elements, row wise sum and column wise sum. So now I am taking one question to input integers in a double dimensional array of size 3 by 4 and display the array in matrix format and sum of all the elements. Okay. Now for this we are using scanner object. So I have taken import java.util package to use scanner class. First of all, I just want to tell you, if the values are already given in the question for array, then only you use assignment statement. Otherwise, either you use function method or you use scanner object to input the values. So after creating scanner object, we have declared the array of size 3 by 4, then sum equals to 0. This variable I have taken to calculate the sum of all the elements, and I told you earlier also किसी भी sum को calculate करने के लिए जो variable use करेंगे उसको हमेशा 0 से initialize करेंगे, because 0 is additive identity. 0 में हम कोई भी number add करते हैं तो value change नहीं होती. That is why we are initializing the number by 0. After this you will input the elements I equals to 0 to I less than 3. How many rows are there? 3. So this will go from 0, 1, 2, 3 times. Then we are taking j equals to 0, j less than 4. 4 columns, 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 times it will be executed. Then aij equals to sc.nextInt to input 1 by 1 value. Now my question says you have to print the sum of all the elements. So the moment you are entering, जैसे ही हम ये number input करा रहे हैं, इस number को sum variable में add करते जाएंगे, so that after completion of this loop we'll get the sum with the total addition of all the elements. Okay. Now after this, the second part we have done already, with calculation is done while entering only. Now first we will print the array in matrix format. Matrix format क्या होता है? rows और columns का format, और उसी पैटर्न में हम इनपुट भी करते हैं array elements को. तो यहाँ पर भी वही लूप चलेगा. I equals to 0, I less than 3, 3 rows are there, I plus plus, then you have for j equals to 0, j less than 4, 4 columns are there, j plus plus. Now इसमें हम print कराएंगे system dot out dot print. Print what you will do? A of ij. aij को print कराएंगे. So जब I की value 0 है तो कौन सी values print होगी यहाँ पर? J will move from 0 to 3. A00, 01, 02, 03, 00, 01, 02, 03। एक पूरी रो की वैल्यू प्रिंट हो गई। किस रो की? फर्स्ट टाइम 0th रो की। और जब पूरी एक रो की वैल्यू प्रिंट हो गई, हमको कर्सर नेक्स्ट रो पे ले जाना है। उसके लिए यू विल गिव system.out.println. println will take the cursor to the next line. हमने इस टाइप की नेस्टेड लूप वाले वीडियो में आप चेक कर सकते हो। पैटर्न प्रोग्राम, रेक्टेंगुलर पैटर्न प्रोग्राम प्रिंट कराने के लिए यही चीज यूज करते हैं। यू कैन रेफर टू दैट वीडियो टू चेक डिफरेंट रेक्टेंगुलर फॉर्मेट। ये मैट्रिक्स भी क्या है? एक रेक्टेंगुलर फॉर्मेट ही है। तो यहाँ पर इनर लूप के बाद हम एक प्रिंट एलन स्टेटमेंट देंगे जिससे कर्सर नेक्स्ट लाइन पे मूव होगा। आफ्टर दैट यू विल क्लोज द ब्रेसेस। इससे आपका i की वैल्यू इंक्रीमेंट होगी। नाउ i विल बिकम 1, j विल अगेन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम 0। सो कौन सी वैल्यूज प्रिंट करेगा? 1 0 1 1 1 2 1 3 like this. Next will be printed. Println will take you to the next value, then 2 0 2 1 2 2 2 3 like this. 3 by 4 matrix format will be printed. So we have entered the elements, calculated the sum, printed the array in matrix format, and then we will print the sum of all the elements. System.out.println sum of all elements in which variable you have stored? In the variable sum. And then you will close your main and class. So this is how we print the array in matrix format, and any other calculation if asked in the question will be done accordingly. Next I am taking question to input integers in a double dimensional array of size 4 by 3 and display sum of each row and sum of each column. The first task is to input the element. सबसे पहले हम input कराएंगे, स्कैनर ऑब्जेक्ट से करा रहे हैं। अब इसमें सबसे पहले array declare करेंगे। declaration के लिए int array variable name equals to new int and the size is 4 by 3, 4 rows 3 columns. Then I have taken the two variables sum r and sum c row wise and column wise. Always whenever you use the appropriate variable names, so that by name only it is clear what you are going to calculate in that. Then you will input the elements. For I equals to 0, I less than 4, 4 rows. J equals to 0, J less than 3, 3 columns. Aij equals to sc dot next int. I hope input part अभी सबको clear हो गया होगा अभी तक. Now we have to calculate row wise sum. So here I have taken double slash. This double slash sign is used for comment entry, single line comment entry. अब अगर ये हमारा मैट्रिक्स एग्जाम्पल लिया है मैंने 4 by 3, 4 रोज है और 3 कॉलम्स है। सम ऑफ ईच रो कितनी रोज है? 1 2 3 4। तो हमको 4 आउटपुट्स मिलने चाहिए। फर्स्ट रो का, सेकेंड रो, थर्ड रो और फोर्थ रो का आउटपुट मिलना चाहिए। इसीलिए हम आउटर लूप यूज करेंगे i equals to 0, i less than 4, i plus plus, क्योंकि 4 बार ये आपका लूप एग्जीक्यूट होगा। अब यहाँ पर आप लोगे j equals to 0, j less than 3, 3 कॉलम्स हैं, j plus plus वेरिएबल है आपका sum r equals to sum r plus a of ij. When I is 0, j will move from 0 to 2, 0 1 2 3 times. So आपका ये क्या ऐड करेगा इसमें? 0 0 0 1 0 2, 0 0 0 1 0 2. This is 0 0 1 2. पूरा आपका एक रो का सम कैलकुलेट हो जाएगा आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ दिस iteration. After this, here you will print println, इसको हम प्रिंट कर देंगे. अब जब नेक्स्ट टाइम I की वैल्यू 1 होगी तो हमको क्या चाहिए, 1 0 1 1 1 2 ये वैल्यूज को प्रिंट कराना है, लेकिन इसमें पिछले सम को ऐड नहीं करना है. तो हम यहाँ पर क्या लिखना चाहिए हमको, sum r equals to 0 every time we are changing the row, the sum variable should be initialized by 0, जिससे previous sum की values उसमें ना add हों. Next we have to print the sum of each column. Column wise sum again I am giving as comment entry. So it is always better that any portion you are going to do, you can give single line comment entry for that. Now in this, how many columns are there? 3 columns. So 3 times we want to repeat the process. So outer loop will be for 0 2 less than 3, that is 3 times 0 1 2. Normally we take j variable for columns. So here I am taking j variable as outer variable because we will be calculating column wise sum. So j equals to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Again using the same concept, the variable sum c will be initialized 0 every time we are changing the column value. Inner loop will be for rows here, that will go from 0 till less than 4 rows are there, I plus plus, and you will be calculating sum c equals to sum c plus a of ij. A of ij, first time the value of j is 0, so throughout the execution of this inner loop the value of j is not changing. So it will be 0 0 1 0 2 0 3 0 like that. Next time when j will become 1, again I will start from 0, so it will be 0 1 1 1 2 1 like this it will work. So after completion of the inner loop you will print the value of the sum of each column, that is sum c, and next time when the column will change, again sum c will be initialized by 0, like this it will display the sum of all the columns one by one. Then you will close the loop and the program will be done like this. So today we are doing this much only, and next turn we'll take few more programs on double dimensional array, which will include diagonal programs, transpose matrix, and few character and string programs also. The link of today's PDF is there in the description box. Few programs are there. Please download and practice that. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, please do so. Press the bell icon so that you get all important notifications. Keep practicing. God bless you.